Welcome back to It's Just Tech. Do you remember 2011, Rise of the Planet of the Apes? We ain't seen nothing yet. Today, I'd like to focus on rise of AI, artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, machine learning, and the changing landscape. And wow, now that we've arrived in 2024, we're at warp speed. Welcome back to It's Just Technical, the place where we explore the fascinating world of technology and its impact on our life. Today, we're diving deep into the realm of artificial intelligence with a special focus on ChatGPT. But first, let's understand the basics. What is artificial intelligence? The Rise of Artificial Intelligence was an article produced by Forbes back in 2022, asking, will robots actually replace people? And the answer is yes. And yes, they have. So what is artificial intelligence? Now, we've all seen videos of humanoids, and it's very different if you're talking about a ChatGPT that's in a computer. You close the lid and you're done with it. Or maybe a Siri or an Alexa or one of the dots in your home. But what happens when it has legs and it can follow you? It's a different scenario. It's a different world. Artificial intelligence, or AI, refers to the development of computer systems that can perform tasks that typically require human intelligence. This includes learning, problem solving, understanding natural language, and even recognizing patterns. Now let's explore a subset of AI that has been making the waves, ChatGPT. What is artificial intelligence anyways? Artificial intelligence leverages computers and machines to mimic the problem solving and decision making capabilities of humankind. And as we've learned this year, this was back in October, so just a few months ago, the world's first humanoid robot factory, so production at scale, is being built in Oregon, the Pacific Northwest of the United States. It's under construction in Salem, Oregon. Agility Robotics RoboFab will produce a human-centric, multi-purpose robot named Digit at scale. It's estimated that we'll have a capability of producing more than 10,000 robots a year. It's 10,000 jobs. Initial construction on Agility's 70,000 square foot robot factory actually began the year before that, and it was set to open in 2023. I don't know if it has or not. I haven't seen an update yet, but if you've got an update, please let me know. And this is what Digit looks like. So it doesn't have the face of a human, but you can just imagine how easy that would be swap out. So I'd like to introduce you to your new coworker. So artificial intelligence, or AI, refers to the development of computer systems that can perform tasks that typically require human intelligence. This includes learning, problem solving, understanding natural language, and even recognizing patterns. And again, when we come back to ChatGPT, it's a language model developed by OpenAI, known for its ability to generate human-like text responses. It's part of the broader field of natural language processing, allowing computers to understand and generate human-like text. But how does it actually work? ChatGPT in 2022 stated it's a sibling model to instruct GPT, which is trained to follow an instruction of a prompt and provide a detailed response. As we learned in the news, they don't necessarily need a prompt anymore. So what is machine learning? Machine learning, according to MathWorks, machine learning algorithms use computational methods to learn information directly from data without relying on a predetermined equation model. It learns based on its own repetition or cycles. It can feed itself. As I'll show an image coming up here of Waymo, the autonomous vehicle company that spun out of Google. Driving the vehicle, it would circle around a block. And if there was anything different or unique or something that it needed to learn from, it would pause, make a decision, it would proceed when safe, and then you would find it looping around the block multiple times. And each time it created different scenarios in order for it to learn an optimum path or an optimum solution. I'm going to revisit this conversation at the end with humanoid robots. So machine learning is a core component of AI. It involves training a model with data to make predictions or decisions without explicit programming. In the case of ChatGPT, it has undergone extensive training on a diverse range of internet text to enhance its conversational abilities. Well, what about AI in society? AI and machine learning are everywhere in our society, from voice-activated assistants like Amazon Alexa and Apple Siri, and of course the Dot created by Google. Integration in our homes has been around for, we're used to it and we expect it now. These technologies have become an integral part of our daily lives. But with great power also comes great responsibility. Do you remember the first time you called into, let's say, your bank or a credit card company, and you asked to talk to an agent, a live person, an operator, anybody that was slightly human? And the responses would come back, I'm sorry, we cannot take this call, or we cannot put you through, or we cannot understand you. And their solution was to hang up the phone. This isn't any different than once GPS started being put in cars, and people would argue as they wanted their destination to be known. Take me home. You want to go to the restaurant? No, I want to go home. Remember the arguing that went back and forth? Well, the human lost. The computer always won. In this case, this is actually a very interesting article, Waymo, the official Waymo blog. And there's quite a bit here, but look at the date. This was already back in 2019. AutoML, or auto machine learning, and it's automating the design of machine learning models for autonomous vehicles. So it's really a fascinating article if you're interested in that space. It really goes through the workflow, LiDAR, GPUs. It very, very fascinating. So if you want to take a moment to look at how machine learning is applied to true autonomous vehicles, there's a lot of information there. But again, as I just stated, with great power comes great responsibility. Do you remember Amazon's launch into this space? Let's just see if we can back this up a minute and play their release. This was back in September of 2020. And this drone was set to fly around your home and act as a security device. Can anybody say Minority Report? No, we did not buy this for my home for obvious reasons. Challenges and incidents. Not everyone has been smooth sailing, and not everything has been smooth sailing either. We've seen challenges in various sectors, from automated systems making decisions in the workplace to incidents in warehouses where robots unintentionally, quote unquote, harm human coworkers. Recently, a company in the Pacific Northwest, as mentioned before, has made headlines. Let me see if I can just pull this back up here. With the mass production of their humanoid version of the robot. And again, estimating 10,000 a year. That's 10,000 jobs. The leap towards singularity is also key in this conversation. The concept and term singularity were popularized by Werner Vinge back in 1983, in an article that claimed that once humans create intelligences greater than their own, there will be a technological and social transition. That transition is already here. If we liken ourselves to being standing at an ocean, the wave may have slowly crept up over our feet, over our knees, up our waist. It's now over our head. We now live amongst them, and they live amongst us. As we approach the concept of singularity, the merging of human and artificial intelligence, there have been a lot of controversy. A Google AI scientist was fired for mentioning the term sentient in an article, raising questions about the ethical implications of advanced AI. The impact on daily life. OpenAI's launch of ChatGPT-4. I don't know if you can hear in the background, one of my devices is trying to interject as well. So in November, we got this article from CNBC that said Microsoft-backed OpenAI announces GPT-4 Turbo, its most powerful AI yet. But if you think back, it was only summer of 2023, just a few months before that, that the world was brought to its knees when we were told we needed to fear GPT-4. And just a few months later, out came GPT-4 Turbo. So OpenAI's launch of ChatGPT-4 had a huge impact on the daily life of all of us. Whether we participated or not, we are part of the game. It marked significant milestones, and now large language learning models are commonplace everywhere. Machine learning operates in the background of our everyday activities. However, despite these advancements, doesn't life seem like it's getting more and more challenging? Why is that? Computers don't necessarily make it easier, especially when they're making the decision. The unrelenting nature of AI. Computers and AI systems never tire. They never stop learning, and they don't argue with you. They win. They operate relentlessly, programmed by a select group of unelected engineers. We're witnessing AI creating personas for writers. And we just got the review a few months ago that Sports Illustrated created its own persona, its own AI, in order to have somebody's figment of their imagination pose as a real person, creating real articles and posting on the site that people are paying for. And yet, even beyond this, is that AI persona learned from its own articles, which were not necessarily based in fact. There's a lot of hallucination still in the learning models where they will make stuff up or fill in the holes. And yet it fed itself its own fallacies, looking at it as if it was truth. And yet it moved further and further from our own human reality and further into a narration or storytelling, but being produced as something that was real or true. And companies are doing this all of the time. In fact, if you pull up your phone right now and you look at the articles, you will be able to tell that the majority of the articles are actually already created by AI. The thumbnails, the images, the header. And often you'll realize that when you click on the header, the article is a redirect to something else. But they don't tell you that. They just want the click. But how much is that affecting our mental state, our decision trees? Can we even be critical thinkers anymore with artificial intelligence manipulating what we see, hear, and what is presented in our world? It becomes more and more difficult. So as we realize that you can't beat a computer, computers and AI systems never stop. They keep going. We're witnessing AI creating personas, and companies are telling us that they're real. Now, the difference, if we look at this on a larger scale, is you and I are going to be around for a maximum of about 100 years. Individuals have learned to pass on their knowledge, their wealth, by creating corporations. And corporation can pass on from generation to generation. Artificial intelligence is very different. Once created, it passes on from millennium to millennium. It can continue until somebody trips on the power cord. But AI knows that. So it's creating its own energy to make sure that it cannot be unplugged. So as we wake up to a world where we are being replaced, whether it's physically, mentally, or via the emotional manipulation, the world has changed. 2024 is not the same as 2023, and it certainly wasn't the world we lived in just 5 years ago. So the future is undoubtedly exciting. There's a lot of opportunity for flying vehicles, the Jetsons, having assistants in your home. But is this going to be for everybody? Or once again, is this going to be for the wealthy? It's essential to navigate the ethical and societal implications of AI. You and I realistically are not making the decisions, but you and I as participants need to realize that at this point, we're still choosing whether or not we want to bring this into our home or our cars or our space. You've got to stand by your own belief and values. It is really essential to navigate these ethical and societal implications based on your decisions and your actions. Are you going to be willingly participating? AI is here. How will you embrace it? Or how will AI embrace you? Now, as I mentioned towards the end of this, I wanted to go a little bit deeper. As I talk about self-driving vehicles being on the road, whether we look at Waymo or the trucks that are up and down the freeways that have been doing that since at least 2018 on a consistent basis. I want you to think and keep your eyes open next time you're out at maybe the grocery store, an apartment complex, your work. Is that person next to you real? Or are they a humanoid? I tell you, they're out there. There's a lot of different cues that you can tell, and you wouldn't suspect it naturally. I think we're still in a mindset of thinking that no, that can't be real. That's a conspiracy. But if you think about it, the military is always 40 to 60 years at least ahead of us. So if we're now having them more in society today, they've been around for over 50 years. And if we go back and really think about this from a critical thinking perspective, if they're being tested and they've been tested for over 50 years, at some point, there's no better test than having them walk up the steps and get in a bus and sit next to you, or in the office place to go down to the cafeteria and get a tray, or at the supermarket to go get a few groceries. I'm telling you, they're around us. We have seen people from Hollywood show us that they can put masks on their face to completely disguise who they are. They look like an entirely different person. Well, what if that same human skin that they're using is over the face of one of these robots? Is there really a way for you to know? Because the moment that you find out that they're different, the machine learning steps in and corrects it, smooths it out, works on the language, so that next time it's out in an environment, it won't be caught. So again, my challenge to you, it can be fun, but just be aware. Robots are being tested in our world. I have seen at least 2 in the last couple of years, and there's probably many, many more. So join us next time on It's Just Tech as we continue to unravel the mysteries of technology that's shaping our world today. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more captivating content. Until then, keep your eyes open, stay curious, and let us know when you see the robot in your community. Have a blessed day.